What's good, people? It is Tony the Savant, and we got to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis, the alleged face of boxing, as he just made a post, as you can see in this visual, stating that his upcoming fight with Lamont Roach has been canceled. That's right, the fight nobody cared about, the fight nobody asked for, the fight that ain't getting no kind of motion or momentum behind it has been canceled. Well, at least allegedly, because I haven't been able to find any confirmation to this other than Gervonta Tank Davis. But the thing about this situation is that we've seen this from Tank Davis before. When he's upset, he throws these tantrums and he just burns the whole building down. But this is the face of boxing. I've never seen the face of boxing have a fight get canceled. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into it, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily. Stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always intrigued to hear what you all have to say about these topics. And ladies and sports fans and gentlemen, that's right. As you can see in the visual, Gervonta Tank Davis, out of nowhere the other day, I think this was yesterday at the recording of this video, he posted this visual saying that his fight with Lamont Roach has been canceled, and there's been a lot of speculation as to why this has happened. Now, me personally, again, I've digged into this story. I've hit up some people that's a lot more closer to the Tank Davis camp and all of the ongoings in boxing, just to see if there was any talk with the big wigs about canceling this fight. And there was nobody said anything as far as the higher ups. I even checked Lamont Roach's, social medias, and he said the same thing. He was like, he doesn't feel like Tank Davis is focused. That's one thing he said. And then he also stated that he's going to continue training for the fight because he hasn't heard himself from any of the higher ups that the fight has been canceled. So we don't know for sure if the fight has been canceled. And again, we've seen these temper tantrums from Tank Davis before. Now it wasn't so much pertaining to his fights when his actual fights was canceled, but there's been numerous of situations where Tank Davis has had these tantrums, whether that was snapping out on Floyd Mayweather, whether that was snapping on another fellow boxer, most notably Devin Haney and or Shakur Stevenson. Or whether he was just spazzing out just to spaz out. I mean, over the years, I'm not a Tank Davis fan by any means, but just over the years, I've always heard something coming out about Tank Davis and him spazzing out from time to time. And this just goes underneath that, this goes in that particular box because, once again, we don't know why he's spazzing out, but he is. But from what I was able to get, and in my investigating, was that the PBC is out of money. Nobody has heard from Al Heyman in quite some time. There's a bunch of people in PBC that's answering a bunch of questions, but again, nobody's heard from the actual boss. Tank Davis, allegedly, is not making the kind of money that he wants to make on this particular fight, again, because nobody cares about it. And I've been saying this for quite some time. The jig is up on Tank Davis, man. Maybe some time ago, he was able to keep continuously pulling off this trick, if you will, of having these, very predictable fights, these very predictable outcomes be scheduled, and having all his fans really glorify him for defeating dudes he was supposed to beat. I mean, Frank Martin, I'm trying to think of the guy before that. Just all of the last, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of Tank Davis's career, he's pretty much had these very I like to call them professional exhibitions. At the end of the day, they're professional exhibitions because we know exactly what's going to happen. We know the guy with the bigger name is going to win the fight, blase, blase. But, um, that's something else I was able to get while investigating this situation. That Tank Davis is not making the kind of money that he wants to make. He was getting accustomed, I guess, to making those 30 million dollar payouts off these exhibitions, and now since the Showtime has pulled out of boxing, HBO been pulled out of boxing. There's been talks of ESPN pulling out of boxing in the very, very near future. And now that Amazon Prime is only providing the PBC at least with just a platform. They're not investing in the fight per se. They're just providing them a platform to showcase their fights. Everybody's wondering where the money is going to come from. How are they going to pay for this fight, the marketing, and all that kind of stuff. So, just a perfect storm of BS. To be honest, I do kind of feel for Tank Davis, but then again, I don't. Because I feel for Tank, because I enjoy watching Tank Davis fight. I'm not a fan, but I'm hoping that eventually at some point Tank Davis gets the motivation, the fire in his belly to actually fight somebody. Whether that's Shakur, Teofimo, I think Loma just announced his retirement, but anybody, anybody that we deem would be an actual challenge to this guy, because Lamont Roach is not a challenge. In fact, Lamont Roach is coming up, I think like one or two weight classes, if I'm not mistaken. And that's ridiculous in itself. You know what I mean? Because the Tank Davis fans, they will make 100,000 excuses on why Tank Davis can't go to 140 to fight Devin Haney, right? Because Tank Davis is too small, because Devin Haney's a weight bully. But these same dudes will just allow Tank Davis to go to a weight division or two below him and pull up a fighter. And it's all good and dandy at that point, right? But anyway, man, it's just all a bunch of, like I said, it's a mess. This is a mess. So that it's literally a perfect storm. And I hate to say it like this, but it seems a little bit more like Tank Davis's karma. After years and years of, in my opinion, pulling the hijinks on the boxing community, the boxing fans, his fans, namely, the only difference between a Tank Davis fan and a real boxing fan is that Tank Davis fans allow him to manipulate them. They love that. You know what I mean? Both sets of fans like watching boxing. They like the crap talking and all that stuff. But what's the difference between us and them is that when Tank Davis tries to pull out these quote unquote mind tricks, when he's trying to fool somebody that he's tough, that he's a boss, that the fighters that he chooses to fight are actually going to be worth some kind of a fight. Whenever he does that, his fans allow him to get away with it, where guys like me will call it out. So, but again, I do feel bad for him, just because, if Tank Davis ain't fighting, it's a real stall on the boxing world. It's kind of like the same energy you get with Canelo. But the fact of the matter that Tank Davis ain't generating the same kind of excitement that he was generating 5 and 10 years ago, again, it's completely on him. That's where my pity for Tank kind of subsides, because I just don't get it, man. I don't get this dude. I don't get it. In the beginning, when I first when Tank Davis first came on the scene, I thought that this dude was legit, to be honest. But over time, you see how these dudes move. You start noticing tendencies, personality traits, patterns. I can't rock with Tank Davis, man. And it's kind of crazy. It's very crazy to me that, all of these years, and especially the 2-3 years I've been doing sports journalism, I've had Tank Davis fans literally come at me, attack me, call me crazy, because I've been calling this out long before I even had a platform. But it's really come to my attention. It's really come to the light since I've had my platform, that Tank literally does not want to fight anybody that's going to be a real challenge for him. At first, before I started this, I thought it was just a suspicion, an allegation that Tank was working his way up the ranks, just knocking, a couple dudes off the list. And then by the time we got to age, year 28, year 29, now he's 30 going on 31. I knew for sure that we would be getting the mega fights by now. But again, since I've been in the game, it's been more of the same. And now my suspicions have been confirmed. And even more than that, now Tank Davis is suffering the consequences of his own decisions and actions. The money is dried up. Nobody, all of the guys that were chasing Tank, quote unquote, like the Lomas, like the Tiafimos, like the Devin Haneys, all of these dudes have moved on. Like I say, Loma has, I believe I seen a poster somewhere with him retiring or about to retire. If not, Loma's 36. There's not that fight between him and Tank won't generate the same kind of excitement it would have 5, 8, 10 years ago. So it's that. And then you also got, Devin Haney has moved on. Bill Haney from time to time will say something about Tank Davis, but I haven't heard anything, literally, not no real serious comments coming from Devin Haney himself about still wanting to fight Tank Davis or Shakur at that matter. Shout out to Dev. He's totally moved on from those two clowns. But you got Shakur, Shakur, he'll say he want to fight Tank, but then when all of the momentum starts generating, you don't hear nothing from Shakur, or you'll hear that wasn't no contract signed and all this nonsense. So it's just at a point for me. I think that Tank Davis's decisions have caught up to him. So now that we're seeing that, Tank is displaying frustration, I say, hey, bruh, this is the same kind of anger and aggression that we've been having to deal with. Because wasn't it before that Lamont Roach fight that Tank Davis said that he had a 7-fight deal with the PBC, I think it was, and after his fight with Frank Martin, he was gonna go fight Shakur, or he had a list. Y'all remember he said he had a list, and on that list it was Loma, Shakur, and Devin Haney. But I've also heard that from Tank Davis before. Before one of his exhibitions, he would say that, after this fight, I'm for sure going after Haney, Shakur, all these guys. He'll say that before a fight, but then after the fight, quiet as a church mouse. Quiet as a church mouse. And it also brings to mind something he said in his, I don't know if it was the most recent, but one of the press conference interviews. He said something on the lines of he never said he wanted to fight Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney, something like that. But I remember clearly, and I've seen brothers put up clips, side-by-side clips where Tank says he didn't want to ever fight, Devin Haney or Shakur. And then guys will put up the clips where, for a year, 2, 3, whatever, how long ago, this dude was saying that he wanted to fight Devin Haney, Shakur, and all that nonsense. So, but in his recent press conference with this fight with Lamont Roach, he literally said that he never said that. So it's just like a bunch of mess when it comes to Tank Davis. And the only thing that's more annoying than Tank Davis is the dude that's truly are manipulated by this man's behavior, because these dudes will literally, they would treat Tank Davis's lies like the truth. And if you're telling them the truth, they'll treat it like it's a lie. So it's just a bunch of confusion. You can't save a Tinkerbell. That's what I call them, brothers. You can't save them. You can't tell them nothing. And at this point, I'm happy everything is going down the way it is. I know I've said that, I feel for Tank in this situation because I hate that his fight has to be canceled if it's going to be canceled. I hate that for him. But at the end of the day, it's like once you start, realizing like, damn, Tank, your fight is canceled because nobody cares about this fight, man. Nobody. Not the boxing community, not the fans, not the guys that actually got the money. And him and Canelo been talking mad crazy to Turkey al-Sheikh. How long before these brothers gonna have to bite the bullet and just go ahead and work with the big Turk? How long before they have to bite the bullet? Because at this point, with the PBC being in such disarray, where does Canelo and Tank go from here? So we'll see. We shall see. Again, this could all just be another one of Tank Davis's temper tantrums, and in the very near future, somebody that actually has some cachet will probably tell us what the status of this fight, where it's really at in the near future. But for now, Tank says it's canceled. I never cared about this fight before, in the past. Anyway, there was rumors in the past that this fight was going to be canceled, so it's not, breaking news if it really happens. It's just a big mess, man. But y'all know what I say, man. Basketball, football, those were my first loves, but boxing is my true love, and I'm here for it all, man. The good, bad, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, we'll keep up with this particular storyline in the near future. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. Please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. As I drop content daily, go live daily, stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, please leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, as I'm always interested to hear what you all have to say about these topics. Thank y'all for the love and support. I'm Tony the Savant. Peace.